Cooking with MoWino Shamrock Madness. I'm having a cup of joe early in the morning. I know it should probably be an Irish coffee, but it's early in the morning. And I am sporting my lovely brand new St. Patrick's Day apron. So you're missing the MoWino logo because this was a St. Patrick's Day gift that was left for me on my doorstep by my good friend Olivia. So thank you so much, because now we have a lucky attire for our lucky meals. So I have a confession to make. I have been eating and cooking corned beef and cabbage for years. My family is Irish, so it's one of our things. And up until about 3 years ago, we threw out the broth that the cabbage and the corned beef simmered in forever. Like, what luscious, delicious broth that is, and we totally disregarded it and threw it away. So, for the last 3 years, I have saved my leftover broth from my corned beef and cabbage, and I use it as the basis to make what I call my Irish cabbage soup. Now, I have to say there's no wine in this, there's no Irish whiskey in this. This is pure goodness from my Irish table to yours. Cheers. Now, when you strain your cabbage so that you get the last of the goodness of the broth, one thing you need to do is to look for your pickling spices from your corned beef and make sure they do not make it into your soup, because that would not be a good thing. Helpful hint. Be on the lookout for pickling spices. To me, the best part about making soup is it's all subjective, because it's a lot of using what you have, cleaning out the fridge, unless you're following a specific recipe. When I make my ham and barley soup, I'm following a specific recipe because I just love the taste. But it's always with leftovers. It's with a leftover ham bone. For my Irish cabbage soup, you've seen what I did. I made some fresh aromatics with the onion. I used purple onion because I wanted a softer tasting onion, and garlic in on the pan, and then I've added my broth. And now this is where it gets subjective. You get to do whatever you want. I have the leftover carrots that I have now chopped from our corned beef and cabbage, and I'm dumping them in. I have some of the corned beef left that I have kind of shredded into small pieces. I'm adding that in. And then I've taken the leftover cabbage and onions that have sort of mixed together, you can't tell the difference, and chopped them so that they would be smaller, bite-sized pieces. And now we have what is looking like a real soup. Now, the first year I made this, I added a tomato base consistency to it, so now I'm here. This is the subjective part. Should I add a can of non-salt diced tomatoes or a can of low sodium tomato paste? I'm debating what to do. I want the tomatoes, but I'm leaning to this because I've got 5 cans of this and I only have 2 cans of tomatoes. But I think I'm going to go with the tomatoes because it adds to the texture of the soup. And then that always makes me want to add a hot component to the soup. If you've got tomatoes, immediately my mind goes to hot sauce, so that'll be another flavor component that we're going to add to. You know, for years, our leftovers was corned beef hash, corned beef sandwiches, or reheating our original corned beef and cabbage meal. Adding this corned beef cabbage, as I call Irish cabbage soup, to our lineup has been really great and really economical too. Stay tuned. Okay, simmering away. I ended up using the chopped tomatoes, which now has given it a more of a healthy red glow, and it basically is done because everything in here was cooked. but we're just simmering in blending all of the flavors together again, and gonna be good. This is one of the best forms of urban composting I think you can do. Live life, taste life, my friends.